Have you ever dreamed of starting your own online store but just got completely overwhelmed by all the information out there? Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise. We are giving you the complete, step-by-step blueprint to take that idea you've got and turn it into a real, legit business. Let's do this.
So what does it actually take to build an online store that works? It's way more than just having a cool product. We're going to walk through the entire thing, from picking the right business model to making sure the numbers actually add up, building a store that people will buy from, getting those first customers, and then running the whole show day to day. And of course, we'll wrap up with a clear roadmap and the pitfalls to avoid. All right, let's dive in. First things first. Before you even think about a product or a logo or anything like that, you have to choose your business model. And this isn't a small thing. This is the foundation of your entire business. Everything else you do is going to be built on top of this choice. Okay, so let's break down the 4 most common ways to do this. First, you've got resell or wholesale. This is probably your fastest path to a stable business, but you're going to need some cash up front to buy that inventory. Then there's private label, which is where you create your very own brand. This one has the best long-term potential and the highest profit margins. Next up, print on demand. Super low risk, right? Because you don't hold any inventory. The catch, the margins are kind of meh. And finally, drop shipping. Look, it's cheap to start, but these days it's a total minefield of long shipping times and what I can only call customer service nightmares.
Now this right here, this is a golden nugget of advice, especially if you're just starting out. The smartest path is often this wholesale to private label upgrade. You start by selling existing products from other brands. Think of it like your training wheels. You learn how to sell, how to market, all the ropes, without the risk of creating a product from scratch. Then, once you know what you're doing, you take what you've learned and you launch your own private label brand. That's how you build real long-term value.
Okay, so you've picked a model. Now for the million-dollar question, right? What do you actually sell? And I want to be super clear here. This is not about chasing whatever's trending on TikTok this week. This is about finding a product that has real, lasting demand because it actually solves a problem for somebody. Before you fall in love with any product idea, you have to put it through this test. First part, does it solve a real painful problem? People don't just buy stuff, they buy solutions. Second part, can you show me what it does in a 5-second video? If you can't, if the benefit isn't super obvious and visual, your marketing is going to be an expensive uphill battle. Trust me. And now for the part that nobody thinks about until it's too late, logistics. Seriously, don't sleep on this. Is your product super heavy? Fragile? Are you selling clothes with 10 different sizes? Because that's just a recipe for sky-high shipping costs, broken items, and a never-ending stream of returns. Picking a product that's easy to ship will save you so many headaches down the road.
And this is the final check, and it's a big one. The math has to work, period. After you pay for the product and the ads it takes to sell one, is there any money left over? Is it something people might buy again? And maybe most important, do you know exactly who you're selling it to? If you can't say a big yes to these questions, you don't have a business. You have an expensive hobby.
All right, let's talk about the step that almost every rookie skips, and frankly, it's why most of them fail. We're talking about checking the numbers, your unit economics. This is where we find out if that cool product idea of yours can actually make money in the real world once you start paying for ads. So let's just use a simple example to make this real. Imagine you've decided to sell your product for $49. That's the price the customer sees. That's our starting point. But here's the thing, you don't get to keep that $49. Not even close. So out of that price, $14 immediately goes to the cost of the product itself and shipping it out. Then a huge $20 chunk, we're talking almost half your revenue, goes straight to paying for the ad that got you the customer. Another $3 gets eaten up by credit card fees. And that little piece that's left over, yeah, that's your profit. So this is it. This is the number that matters. $12. After all the main costs, that's what you're left with on each sale. This is what tells you if your business can actually survive. If your whole plan relies on getting customers for free, your plan is broken. The math has to work from day one.
Okay, we've got a solid product and the numbers check out. Awesome. Now it's time to actually build your digital home, your online store. This is all about creating an experience that takes someone from just browsing to actually pulling out their credit card.
Think of your product page as your best salesperson. It can't just be a picture and a price. It needs a very specific flow. You start with a big, bold headline about the main benefit. Then you hit them with a few bullet points on the key features. You absolutely need a video showing it in action.
Then you build trust with social proof, customer reviews, give them all the nerdy details and specs, and finally, you take away all the risk with a super clear guarantee. But that trust, it isn't just built on one page. Your whole site needs what's called a trust stack. These are the absolute non-negotiables that signal to a stranger that you're a real company. You need clear shipping times, an easy-to-find return policy, real contact info, and an About Us page that tells a story. Without these things, you just look sketchy, and sketchy websites don't make sales.
So you've built this amazing, trustworthy store. Now what? Well, now we need to get people there. Let's talk about the modern marketing system, which really boils down to two key traffic engines that you need running side by side.
So your marketing really needs two legs to stand on. On one side, you have organic content. Think short, punchy videos for TikTok or Instagram. This is your long game. It costs you time, not money, and it builds a real community. On the other side, you have paid ads on platforms like Meta or Google. This is your rocket fuel. It costs money, but it gets you traffic right now. You can't just do one or the other. To really succeed, you need both.
And I want you to really pay attention to this because this is the golden rule of advertising today. It used to be all about finding the perfect audience to target. Not anymore. The algorithms are so smart, they'll find the audience for you. Your job, your only job really, is to make compelling creative. The ad itself, the video, or the image, that's what does the targeting. A great creative will find its people. Getting a sale is a great feeling, but it's really just the beginning. Now we have to talk about all the behind-the-scenes stuff, the operations and quality control that keeps the whole machine running smoothly and protects the brand you're building.
Look, this part is not optional. You have to have a quality control process in place with your supplier. The standard way to do this is called an AQL inspection. It's really simple. You just hire a third-party inspector to go to the factory and check a random sample of your products before you pay for the whole shipment. This one little step can save you thousands of dollars and a world of hurt.
Let this sink in for a second. Bad quality control will destroy your brand way faster than bad marketing ever could. Think about it. You can recover from a few bad ads that waste some money, but you can't easily recover from shipping a bunch of junk to your first 100 customers. That will kill your reputation with bad reviews and chargebacks. Game over. Whew. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground. So let's pull this all together into a realistic timeline for you to follow. And just as important, let's talk about the biggest mistakes, the major pitfalls you absolutely have to dodge if you want to succeed.
And this roadmap here shows you how to go from just an idea to a business that's actually scaling in about 3 months. And I want you to notice the order of things. The first 2 weeks are all research and making sure the math works. You don't even think about launching ads until week 5. And you don't place your big inventory order until you have proof that people will actually buy your stuff. This whole sequence is designed to protect you and minimize your risk. And finally, please, just burn these common mistakes into your brain. These are the things that will sink a perfectly good business idea. Getting the math wrong from the start, not having a unique angle, skipping quality control, scaling your ads way too fast. Avoid these rookie moves, and you're already way ahead of the game. So you have the blueprint. The only question left is, what problem are you going to go solve?